Hello guys, and welcome back to another one with us, the Review Bros, and it is finally the final budget edition pre-workout that we've got lined up on the channel, and then we're back to the normal ones. And it's arguably the most budget looking one yet. And it also says premium quality on the side there, which I find absolutely hilarious. I feel like someone's whacked that on there for a joke. But anyway, all rinsing aside and mucking around, we're going to be covering the usuals: the taste, the price, the label, and the effects of this one. Will it be worth picking up? I haven't even told you what it's called. It's Supplements Direct Gold Performance Edition pre-workout. Cool, I'd love to see the non-gold Performance Edition one. If you do like our videos and they do help you out and you do happen to find them mildly entertaining, please do hit the like button, hit the sub button, tick the bell icon, because we like to drop about 3 reviews a week, and your support really does help us out. Cheers. Let's do it. Taste and mixability time, and we've got the flavour Delicious Berry, although we'll be the judge of that, whether it's delicious or not. How dare they assume my opinion. On the back it says 2 to 3 teaspoons, so you don't even get a scoop. So considering it says premium quality on the side there, I would argue budget edition quality. We don't even get a scoop. But yeah, let's hope you own a spoon, and then you can just, you know, do it based on their recommendation. But it is 15 grams, it's gone in. Mixability wise, I would say, yeah, slightly above average from what I can tell. Used it a good few times, but let's give it a crack now right on camera for you guys. What do we think of the flavour? Is it truly delicious? Do you know what? They're not far off. I would say it is pretty damn close to being delicious as pre-workouts go. But having said that, they've not got much to mask, so I don't really want to give them too much praise, because there's like, I'll tell you what, I'm not going to spoil it. We'll wait for the label, but yeah. It tastes good, so they've at least got that right. I would happily give it a 9 out of 10, honestly. It's a nice sweet flavour, no nastiness to it. It doesn't even taste really like a pre-workout, and maybe that's because it's bordering on not being one. But anyway, 9 out of 10 on the taste. Let's move into price. Okay, we're talking price. So how much are you going to be paying for this Gold Performance Edition premium quality pre-workout? Well, you'll head over to their official website, supplementsdirect.com, where you'll find this 20 serving tub on there for £12.95. And when you work that out, divide it up, it comes to 65p per serving. Now, that gets a straight 10 out of 10 on our price scale that measures how expensive pre's are. It's a very simple scale. It's like between this price and this price, that out of 10. Between this price and this price, that out of 10. 5 out of 10 we consider a bang average price point. This gets the 10 out of 10, like I say. So it's priced extremely well. Obviously that doesn't factor in the label and the effects. That's what we're here for. But on face value, as pre-workouts go, it's fantastically well priced, and it's super duper cheap. But like I say, how will that be reflected in the label and most importantly the real world effects? Let's get into it now. Okay, what are we getting for that price point? Let's get into this label. So 3 teaspoons gets you 15 grams, although it's going to be very inaccurate using a teaspoon in my opinion. And even with scoops it is, like actual scoopers. So we always say use scales when you're weighing your pre's. I just thought I'd reiterate that since it's topical. Anyway, nutritional information, like I say, per maximum 15 gram servings, because you can opt for the 2 teaspoons, which is 10 grams if you want to underdose yourself even more so. But anyway, there is a positive, because we are starting off strong with this pre-workout. I will actually give it that in comparison to the other budget pre's we've looked at. Creatine monohydrate at 4.5 grams, so thumbs up. You know, we're getting close to the 5 gram top end daily intake amount for the creatine. Obviously 3 grams is the lowest end, so it's a good dose, I'm not going to lie. It's not perfect, but it's decent enough. Creatine helps with your pumps, your power, your athletic performance in the gym. It's the most well-studied ingredient out there when it concerns supplements, so we do love it. Is it necessary in pre's? That's for you to decide, but I do like the fact that this would serve pretty much, you know, almost so close as your daily intake for creatine. So you wouldn't have to necessarily take a standalone creatine supplement. You can get it all in here, or 95% of your daily intake. But I think most people will be okay with 4.5 grams. Like, it's not that tragically different to 5 grams to the point it's not gonna work. You're still gonna be building up in your system. It'll just take a tad longer. Anyway, that's enough on creatine. I'm boring myself. Beta-alanine amino acid, 3.5 grams. Again, decent. We're looking at a few hundred milligrams over what we typically look for, which is 3.2 grams. Gives that itchy, tingly sensation when it kicks in, and I would assume that you would get it here as well. But it does help with endurance when it builds up in your system. Similar to creatine, you've got to reach that saturation point. Then we've got L-citrulline demalate. This is where we're going to start to on the dosages and stuff. So don't know the ratio, whether it's 2:1 or 1:1, but we've got ourselves 3 grams in here. So if it's 1:1, we're only getting, which it probably is because it hasn't stated it on here otherwise, so we have to assume worst case scenario, 1.5 grams of L-citrulline. Not really going to do anything. The lowest amount to actually be effective to any degree in the real world is about 3 to 4 grams. So we're looking at half of that amount here. So you might get the tiniest amount of benefit from that, but not much, honestly, guys. It's probably, may as well not have it in here, to be honest with you. But it should bump up your nitric oxide levels in your body to increase your blood flow and the pump in the gym and nutrient delivery, and which will thus help with your endurance in the gym. We've got L-arginine pairing up with that HCl version at 1 gram, which again is a low dose. Citrulline is the precursor to L-arginine, but citrulline is found to work a lot better in studies at actually increasing your blood flow and therefore getting pumped. So arginine is a bit of a dated ingredient. It is misspelt on here as well as arginine. So yeah, it should help with your blood flow and pumps, again, pairing up with L-citrulline. So that'll give us a bit more of a chance of getting pumped, even though it is underdosed. But yeah, we got it for what it's worth. L-tyrosine at 500 milligrams. Normally like to see 1 gram as the lowest dose in terms of like actually getting genuine effect from it. 500 milligrams, you'll probably get some background benefit from that, but like I say, it's not ideal, it's not optimal. Amino acid, again, it's going to help with your focus and concentration and mood. Then we've got caffeine anhydrous, 200 milligrams. Decent enough dose. The average in pre's is probably 300 to 350 milligrams, so we're definitely coming in lower here. Equivalent to a couple of strong cups of coffee or a little bit more than an energy drink. So it's, you know, you should feel it. It's the main stimulant in the pre. It's going to wake you up and get you moving, increase your alertness levels. Then we got Groot. Groot's getting a shout out, Guardians of the Galaxy. Glucuronolactone, 100 milligrams. So again, a low dose. That's found in most energy drinks. It's quite an uneventful ingredient. It sounds, the look of it sounds more interesting than what it actually is, but it just helps with your overall performance in the gym and does have some cognitive benefits as well. So we'll take whatever sliver of benefit we get from that. And then we've got vitamin B12 at 100 micrograms. So that's just going to help with general bodily function, energy production within the body. You know, nothing that you're necessarily going to feel before the gym, just a background B. I mean, it's a vitamin, for crying out loud. You're not going to get too much excitement from it. And that is the label, guys. So I'll be honest, as much as I did take the mick, this is one of the better budget ones that I've seen. Although, you know, after the first 2 ingredients, those dosages really do start to take a dive. So yeah, it's just a shame they didn't keep up the momentum that the start of the label had, because it might have been more respectable. But yeah, that's it. So we are covering the focus, pump and energy to varying degrees. So yeah, let's see how it comes together in the real world effects. Okay, let's talk real world effects with this Gold Performance Edition pre-workout in the several times I've used it. So I'll start off at the start like we always do with the beta-alanine, and I will admit in this one it does kick in really strong. I mean, it's in here at 3.5 grams, which is a pretty damn good dose, and it's one of the only ingredients in here that is actually dosed clinical or above. So I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, 8 out of 10 on the tingle scale, so it definitely gets you revved up and gets you moving. So if you like that, obviously it's a thumbs up. If you don't, then this pre isn't going to be for you, simple as that. Energy wise, all we've got is the caffeine in there at 200 milligrams, so that comes in after about 20 minutes and then it's gone after about an hour to an hour and a half. So that's going to be sufficient for most people, but obviously if you've been around the pre-workout block, then you're going to need something stronger. But where it concerns beginners, this would actually be ideal, although I do believe the beta-alanine will probably scare off some people because they won't know what's happening to them. So it just depends. But from a stimulant standpoint, you'll be fine. So that's the energy. There's no nastiness attached to it, so it won't make you miss meals for appetite suppression. It won't keep you up all night. It won't give you jitters. So again, perfect for beginners in that regard. Focus, all you got in here is the underdosed L-tyrosine and of course the caffeine itself. So the focus is, let's be real, it's just straight up not really there, is it? So all you're getting really for the focus is the caffeine, because the L-tyrosine isn't dosed correctly. So you feel alright on it, but you don't feel tunnelled in, super dialed in on your training any more than normal really. So focus is kind of a non-factor. Now talking about the last thing, pumps, and I would say there is some very small benefit of pumping this pre-workout, because we are getting a just about okay dose of L-citrulline combined with the L-arginine, so it's enough to at least get something moving, but it's not sufficient or optimal to actually get a full-blown juicy pump, if you get me. It will just get you going in that direction. So pumps are low tier, but there is at least some pumps in here, because a lot of the budget ones I've reviewed, all you're really getting is the caffeine. You're not getting anything for pump and anything for focus. So I do give this one props for at least trying, although it could be doing with trying a little bit harder, especially if it's going to call itself Gold Performance Edition and Premium Quality on the side, which I keep alluding to. So yeah guys, that is pretty much it in a nutshell. I do like the fact that you're getting most of your creatine daily intake in it, so if you want to kind of like look for silver linings, you could argue you're kind of getting a creatine product as well as the caffeine pre-workout element, so it's got a bit more going for it than some of the other ones I've looked at. Out of all of the budget ones I've reviewed recently, I'd say this one's probably coming in as second best. I'm trying to think of the other one that was the best one. I'll flash it up on the screen. But yeah, this is probably the second best one I looked at out of all of them. But having said that, it's still not great. So for the price, obviously we have to factor that in, because it is a cheap product at only £12.95 for 20 servings, 65p a go. I would say don't straight up avoid it. Like, it's not horrifically bad like some of the other ones, but it's also definitely not good. Like, it is definitely below average as pre's go. But for the money, I think you should shortlist it if you're on a tight budget. Like, I don't think you'd be totally angry if you picked it up, because you are, like I say, again, treading over the same ground here. You are getting your creatine, you are getting the caffeine, you're getting the beta tingles, and you're getting a little bit of pump. So it's got the bare bones basics of a pre-workout essentially. And I do think it just about earns its right to exist at that price point. So yeah, I wouldn't say buy it, I wouldn't say outright avoid it. I would just say shortlist it if you're in a pinch and you need something cheap that's going to just about get the job done. But yeah, that is it guys. There's no negatives associated with it, like I say. And if I was to recommend the company to do anything to make any changes, I would say get rid of L-arginine, because that's a dated ingredient. The glucuronolactone isn't necessary. The creatine really isn't even necessary, to be honest with you. And then just increase the dose of the L-citrulline and the L-tyrosine. And to be honest with you, that would be a good enough pre-workout, and they probably wouldn't have to mess with the price point too much either. So yes, that does wrap it off guys. Let me know if you've enjoyed this little budget pre-workout review edition, string of reviews that I've done in the last month. And if you want us to do it again at some point down the line. But yeah, this does round off that little series. So I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of this one down below. Anything else you want to see us review, all the usuals. And as always, stay mildly stimmed.